So this is me 10 years ago, believe it or not, with my grandpa and my twin brother. And 11-year-old me would have never imagined all of the things that happened in the past few years. I think I've gone to a couple cool places for sure, and I've definitely done a couple cool things throughout the past 10 years that I'm so proud of. And my next accomplishment is graduating college, so I'm really excited about that. There definitely were a lot of things that in my wildest dreams I would have never imagined, like COVID-19.
A lot of growing concerns about the deadly coronavirus officially hitting the U.S. Here's what we know.
I also would have never imagined the Me Too movement. I think it was very influential for women at that time and still even today. Same-sex marriage was also legalized, so that's nice for the people of the LGBTQ community. This one's kind of random, but I feel like people never anticipated Queen Elizabeth to pass away, but she did, unfortunately, which is really sad, but she was great. So considering all the crazy things that happened in the past 10 years, it makes me wonder about what's going to happen in the next 10 years that are going to be probably even crazier. Before I get into what I believe is next, I think it's important to refer back to the initial This I Believe assignment. Referring back to the initial This I Believe assignment, the best form of economics I really resonated with is New Economics and Buddhist economic ideologies, which basically states that there are significant benefits from a world in which prosperity, sustainability, democracy, and economic growth are emphasized. There's more about it on the slide. I won't read the entire thing, but you can pause if you want to read the rest of it. In a happy and perfect world, this is what I would love the world to be like. I would love for businesses to do business for sustainable purposes rather than just for the purpose of profit. Also, for hunger and poverty to be diminished and for people in general to have a better quality of life and not have to worry and be so fixated about money and if they can pay something as simple as a healthcare bill. I recently learned that this could also be considered similar to donut economics, which I'll insert a clip of now. I tried inserting a clip, but unfortunately I got copyrighted for it, so I'll just explain what she was talking about in the video. She basically explains that in order for humanity and the environment to be sustainable, economics should not look like the upward line that you would associate with economics traditionally, but instead it should look like a donut like the graph presented above. I believe that video explains extremely well kind of what New Economics and Buddhist economics is really about, which is pretty much the greater good of not only us humans, but the earth and everything as a whole. So this is what I personally believe in and how I would love things to be. Realistically speaking, not everybody thinks that way, and not everybody would like that way of approaching economics. And I think realistically speaking, there are things that are probably going to change for the better, but also for the worse. And what I mean by that is that I'm sure that there's going to be efforts made to improve the world socially, economically, politically, etc. But at the same time, there will be things to continue pulling the world in the wrong direction as well. Okay, now we can continue on to what I think is next and the changes that I eagerly anticipate and the changes that I also foresee but am fearful of. Some changes that I do eagerly anticipate are advances in technology like areas of artificial intelligence, biotechnology, that can reshape the nature of work, education, and interpersonal relationships. I'm also excited to see environmental awareness grow and how people can implement sustainable practices into their businesses. And I'm also excited to see continued discussion around social justice and civil rights. While I am excited for the advances in technology, the unknown of what can be created is also pretty scary and pretty fearful to me. Also, shifts in U.S. foreign policy, alliances, and international agreements can also be scary sometimes just because you never know what these people are thinking. So in relation to how I think this will impact business that's being conducted and experiences of consumers, I definitely think that technology will advance more and more, and business owners and consumers will have to rely on it a lot more for like e-commerce. There's probably going to be another big boom like e-commerce happen, but I'm just not sure what. In regards to sustainability, I do believe that businesses will have to implement more sustainable practices, and hopefully consumers will be more aware of the items that they're purchasing and how the company deals with being sustainable and not greenwashing their customers. And I hope the US will be able to adopt these practices and not take advantage of them or take advantage of the power that technology or being sustainable may pose. As we've learned in class, some United States citizens do tend to be a little bit on the greedy side and want to fulfill their self-desires, which is okay. I believe in moderation. So I could only hope that people would be willing to adopt more of a new world and / Buddhist ideology way of thinking and approaching economics. I would hope that also, once again, the US fits with my personal and individual goals, being that I do have a more, donut economic, as previously shown in the video, way of thinking of life. And I definitely do have faith in humanity that US citizens will start shopping with more sustainable companies, or that they won't use technology to their power, or people who do have the next revolutionary technology will be willing to use it for good and not just for the power that they can achieve by having that sort of technology. In the event that the future of the United States does not align with my goals and my anticipated plans, I would have to modify them, obviously, but I would probably do so in a way where I could continue advocating for the overall betterment of the general public and the environment and society's well-being. And if by some crazy reason the US government doesn't allow people to continue advocating or having freedom of speech, I'll, do so privately and make sure that at least I know that I did everything in my power to continue advocating for what I think is right. Thank you so much for watching my video and listening to what I have to say about this final project, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.